After the debate, I had a bunch of folks come to me, don't be so polite, don't be so nice.
Welcome back to Luce Talk, with less than a month to go now before the election. And it's clearly, from this perspective, been divided into two halves. There's the first half, where Obama was in the lead, had a good convention, and then there was the debate and his disastrous performance. And the second half, so far since then, a very different kind of campaign. 12 to 18 point poll swings because of that debate. The kind of swing that no single debate tends to generate. A really disastrous performance. And Barack Obama has been admitting publicly since then that he's really got to raise his game.
Just last week, when we were on stage together, Governor Romney decided that instead of changing his plan, he just pretended it didn't exist. What $5 trillion tax cut? I don't know anything about a $5 trillion tax cut. Pay no attention to that tax cut under the carpet, behind the curtain.
Whilst Obama continues to try to make up ground for his poor performance, Romney continues to tack very aggressively towards the center. He apologized on Fox News for his notorious 47% remark and is downplaying, whenever he can, the tax cuts for the rich critique. However, Governor Romney's allegedly fast and loose relationship with the facts has raised a lot of concern amongst election observers. David Walker, arguably the sort of fiscal conscience in chief of the United States, a former Bush official and a fiscal hawk in Washington, says that his plan, even more than President Obama's, is completely detail-free.
For example, Governor Romney said that he wants comprehensive tax reform that broadens the base and lowers rates. He doesn't want it to add to the deficit. On the other hand, he or some of his campaign people have talked about things in the past that raise real questions about whether the numbers will work. And so he's got to provide more specificity, I think. There's some examples.
So the really important stuff to come is the two remaining presidential debates. And it's here that Obama is going to supposedly be more aggressive, less polite, challenge Romney more on the specifics or lack of specifics. But it's worth remembering that of the two debates, one is fully devoted to foreign policy, and the other is half devoted to foreign policy, which means that Obama only has a very narrow window in which to reclaim the electorate's trust on his ability to handle the economy.
When he's asked how he'll cut the deficit, he says he can make the math work by eliminating local public funding for PBS.
Which brings us to our odd moment of the week. Well, every election season has its odd characters crop up. In 2008, it was Joe the Plumber. In 2012, a little bit more surprisingly, it's Big Bird of PBS's Sesame Street. Ever since the debate, Barack Obama has been mocking Mitt Romney's claim that PBS's publicly funded broadcasting should be part of the tough spending cuts to bring the budget back into balance, given that it's only an infinitesimal amount of public spending. And it's produced this ad.
Bernie Madoff, Ken Lay, Dennis Kozlowski, criminals, gluttons of greed, and the evil genius who towered over them. One man has the guts to speak his name.
Big Bird, Big Bird, Big Bird.
It's me, Big Bird.
Big, yellow, a menace to our economy.
However, as this rather ill-tempered election season has made plain, most Americans don't like politics nowadays, and Big Bird is no exception. PBS has called on both campaigns to leave Big Bird out of this.
Mitt Romney taking on our enemies no matter where they nest.
See you next week on Luce Talk.
Thank goodness somebody is finally getting tough on Big Bird. It's about time.